Part 2 on Tommy's 1982 TXL Indy.
So tonight, let's try to get the carbs fit, the water lines hooked up, the oil tank mounted, possibly the tank, and the seat.
Ooh, look at this, folks.
If you watched one, you're going to say I might have a seat or something. It appeared. I got
That's
a trunk
nice.
in it,
Oh,
the tail light.
the door's not faded. That's pretty sharp.
Yeah, it's a little bit of work.
Yeah.
We'll be working on the exhaust a little bit and having a beer.
Yep. I did not get the exhaust can mod done, so I'll maybe do that over the weekend. It's going to be here for at least one more episode, so I got some time yet. We're not going to try to run it tonight.
No.
Although we could run it with the can stock. We've done that on Indy 500s before, and it's okay. You just get a little more if you do the exhaust can mod.
Yeah, but we still got to get the oil tank mounted. Like I said, we got to make a bracket for that to mount it to the steering loop. So we have plenty to do tonight.
Yep, we'll dig into the scrap metal pile and do a little welding. We'll figure it out.
Yes, sir.
We've done it before.
Yep.
Multiple times. Yep. All right, we'll bring you back when we're doing something cool. Before we get too far, patron Hoos sent us a little something. I guess I'm going to classify it as garage decor since I don't have a phonograph. But you guys have probably seen these before, a lot of you. It is the John Deere Snowmobile record. All right, just wanted to show you that. Thanks, Hoos. All right, so we're setting up Tommy's kill switch, and one thing we found over the years with swapping Indy 500 motors into TXs and TXLs is that sometimes you have to switch wires and sometimes you don't. So we're gonna work on the kill switch. That's the main thing. We're gonna start up here. This is the kill switch. All right, that's a good kill switch. You can hear that beeping when the kill switch goes. And then out of the kill switch, we have two wires. We have this red with the white stripe, and we have the brown. Those go over to the ignition switch here. Here's your red with the white stripe, and here's your brown. And we'll just verify that the harness is good by plugging in. Yep, the red with the white stripe's good. And the brown should connect to there. The brown connects. So these run down to here, to this plug. So the red with the white goes into this pin here. So if I put that in there, put my probe on my meter back up, we're connected and good. But now we got the brown up here. I'll just jam this probe in pretty good somewhere. But does that brown really go to the brown down here? And I'm guessing no. And it does not. But the black with the brown goes to this black here. So that's all good. So what that means is this black wire coming out needs to go to ground. Now here's the problem. And then this wire with the red and white's the kill. So here's the deal. When you plug them in together, you got two sets of plugs that look like this. What goes where? All right, this black one that's coming off of this black wire all the way up to the switch here just gets plugged into the brown for the engine ground. Then the other one, the red with white, you can see there's nothing coming out of there. Well, it looks like there was once upon a time, but it doesn't matter. When you have an Indy 500, you have this one lone connector on the CDI. So we're going to switch the plug, and when we connect it to this, which connects it to this red wire with a white stripe, that'll be enough to complete the circuit and kill the motor. So hopefully that wasn't too long-winded and complex, but that's how you work through when you're swapping engines, at least in a Polaris. That's how you work it through and make sure your kill switch works. So next, what are we going to do, Tommy? Check for spark?
Yeah, we'll see if your wiring was correct.
All right, here we go.
Okay, key on, switch on.
Everything's on.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely
I
spark.
saw that.
Yeah. Still spark.
Well, then that switch isn't.
No.
It isn't plugged in.
Oh, that's because the switch
John.
isn't connected.
I leave you in charge of one thing.
You think? You know, we didn't do that on purpose, but it'd be funnier if we did. All right, let's see now. Still spark.
Oh, because it's on.
Oh, see? We can't even work a kill switch. No spark.
No spark. Okay.
All right, we're all good.
All right. No, we got to turn the key off.
Oh, okay.
I
Key
have
off?
I found an ignition switch for it too.
No spark. All right, put the key back on. Spark again.
All right.
All right,
Yeah.
so we can figure out simple problems, like plug in the kill switch and then set things in the correct settings, and it works. Life's good.
Yep. It might even get a little squirt of gas a little later.
Ooh, makes a noise?
Yeah.
We like noise.
Yeah.
All right, it's pizza time, even though it's just me and Tommy. Big thanks to the patrons for your support of the channel and, of course, this pizza. Really appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
All right, we're fitting up the oil bottle, and we skipped about 85 steps. But I made this little bracket here, and we fit it. We had the gas tank in place, so we knew it cleared that. It clears the jack shaft. The bracket's obviously the right length, and it's got one tack on it. We're going to give it one more tack, and then I'm going to blast that bottle off of there so we don't melt the heck out of it. And away we go. And I did grind away the paint where I needed to grind away the paint. What I didn't do was turn on my welding helmet.
That's always good humor.
We'll come back when I recover from the arc flash.
It's got a working choke, a working throttle cable, a working key switch.
It's coming right along.
All this stuff came out of the parts bins at Speedy's garage.
Which is great because we're not depleting Nutter's parts bins, which is what we usually do.
On other people's sleds.
On everyone else's sleds but Tommy's.
We're not hoarders, John.
We're not hoarders.
We're collectors.
We're just building up our own supply for our own needs. All right. I'm going to weld that. Tommy wants to hear it run. I guess I want to hear it run. I'm thinking you guys probably want to hear it run.
Keys on, switches on.
Hey, Tommy, it runs on spray.
Yes.
Smells good.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
All right.
All right, we're feeling good about that.
The outside here.
What are you doing, Dennis?
Showing Tommy what little bit of polishing I did on his sled here.
Yeah?
Kind of cleaned up the outside here.
Yeah?
The inside I did the left side, not the right side, so there's some, showing him some before afters.
What about the
The
hood?
hood, here's a before after, so
I'm not sure if that'll come out on the video, but there's a distinct line here where it's shinier this way and duller that
we
way.
might try to shine up the hood a bit more.
I would say
We're
so.
gonna now. We did part of it.
I would say so. Tommy, do you know why this is hanging here like
That's
this?
what I was just going to ask you about.
That is the direction we
yeah,
have to pull to straighten out these wrinkles down here in the corner.
Oh, yep.
And
Yeah, I'm
this
looking
way.
at putting the heat here.
You
Yeah.
can see the bend here.
So we put the weight on it, and it actually got a lot better. So we'll have to play with that somewhat today too.
Yeah, today's Tommy's job.
Yep.
Yeah, I brought some clutch weights.
Oh, yeah?
On the belt. Yeah, get the gas tank done, the oil tank on.
Yep.
We're gonna pop a wheelie with this today, maybe.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Cool.
I love it.
Well, Lonnie's not here to clean the carbs.
No.
Missing you, Lonnie.
Missing you, Lon. Oh, well. We'll get them cleaned anyways. What you doing, Dennis?
Destroying the windshield.
I think that might have been destroyed before you got to it. You just basically clipping them off, or
Yeah, there's a few rusted bolts we might have a struggle with, but
the rest was all plastic?
yeah, the rest were the little clips.
Super brittle by now,
Yeah.
so.
Probably could have broken by hand.
All right. Yeah, Tommy's got new windshield planned for this.
Yeah, we'll get this all cleaned up, and well, we won't get rid of the cracks, but
Today's pizza sponsor is Tim Wendt, who gave the channel its first super thanks. Really appreciate you, Tim. All right, so we're checking out Details handiwork out here. Dennis, the hood looks great.
not bad for how old of a hood?
Yeah, that's been sitting out in the woods.
Yeah.
Tank looks great too. I'll bet you Tommy's got something about that headlight full of rust.
Yeah.
I'll bet you got a headlight somewhere, Tommy. Because this one's full of rust. Or there's a mouse nest in it. I'm not sure.
Gives it that vintage look.
Yeah, vintage, not very bright look. All right, cool.
Nice.
Pizza's done.
Yeah.
During the time when we cooked the pizza, we recorded a couple segments, and we listened to the entirety of Freebird, which is about how long it takes to cook a pizza.
All right, here's a little before on the carbs before we throw them in the ultrasonic 8000. Got some grime on these things. John's back there doing stuff.
All right, so Tommy wants to install an actual temperature gauge in this. Here it is. It's a 2-inch gauge. This is not a 2-inch hole. How do you hole saw that out? Well, I made this little bushing, and the bushing goes on the hole saw, and that'll pilot it. So we'll let Tommy have at it and drill that out. Yeah, I already recorded what it is, so.
What can go wrong here?
What could possibly go wrong? Put her down at first gear. There we go. Well, that worked like a champ.
1 inch to 2 inch.
1 1/8 actually.
Yep. Put that in a special tool drawer.
Yep. Except for
We will be putting more temp gauges in TXLs.
I got to write on it what it is, or it'll just be another bushing for use in the arbor press. All right, things have been happening over here. Tommy's got his gas tank mounted up. We set up the whole pickup line with the compression rings and everything. Look at this. We even got the vent hooked up. We got the oil bottle on, and I dumped 1 quart of oil in it. And you can see this is where 1 quart of oil really is on this bottle. Got that done. We got a nice little routing up to the pump, but you can see there's a ton of air in there. So I hope everybody knows this, but if you don't, there's a screw on top of the pump. Crack that loose, and look at that oil come down there. And you don't even have to take that screw out, just loose. And that's that. The pump is bled. Now, when we start it, we'll still probably take a coat hanger and pull that lever up while it idles, just to pump a whole bunch through here, through the lines. But we got most of the air out right then. All right, we're back with the big update. We've done all kinds of things. So you can see there's a bunch more lines getting started to route, and we've invented some fuel pump standoffs for Tommy. That was a quick little lathe job. We made them 1 1/4 inch, so the line will be up above the jack shaft.
Patent pending on that invention.
I don't think so, since TX came with them originally. But you can see the exhaust pipe's on. We must be thinking about doing something today. By the way, we just drilled and tapped right into the bulkhead for those. It's nice and thick right there. So that'll be fine. And I don't know. Maybe this thing will be making some noise and some smoke in a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, we also finished up the Indy steering column with Indy handlebars.
Yeah, nice.
Got everything, dug carburetors up, all the pieces, and made a set of 38s for it. We
Got a fuel or got a coolant temp gauge.
got the water lines all run.
You got jets in them carbs. We got everything ready.
Yeah,
Hey, I think she's going for a ride today.
got a quart of oil in the tank. The tank's mounted on the bracket, and a little bracket we welded on there to hold the oil tank. I just got to get a couple of shorty 38 millimeter foamies.
All we got to do is the final plumbing then, and it's ready to rip.
Yeah,
Pretty close.
Fuel line.
Still
Yeah.
gonna eliminate this tower. I'll make a little block off plate there like I do on most of them.
You should have done
a
that
little
before we
breather.
filled it with coolant.
It's not full yet.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Things are happening.
Squirt.
Squirty, squirty.
We're firing it up just to get fuel up to the carbs. Squirty squirt. There's the smoke. All right, we got some oil. All right, there you go, folks. I was holding the oil lever up and smoke started coming out, but I didn't have the camera pointed at it. I don't know. That seemed pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. We'll put a belt on it and spin the track a little bit, and
Let's take her for a rip.
And the fresh snow.
Yeah, this fresh February snow.
they're now the temp gauges, right?
Did it work?
Right, yep, yep.
Awesome.
Once it got up to temp. Well, it doesn't always go perfect the first time, as you've seen here many times.
We get lucky a lot when we take our first stab at clutching and jetting, but not today.
No,
We're going to have to come back and pull some fuel out of this thing big time. Maybe a little bit lighter weights, I'd say.
that's a possibility too. I have those 48s in it, or you might a little bit less weight there.
It's 50 degrees right now, folks. And, you know, we're being honest with you. We showed you the first stab at it. And all you experts out there that want to tell us what jets and weights to put in, just hold your horses. We know how to figure this out, okay? But, you know, it is what it is. We got probably some suspension work to do on it too, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little bit tough to steer, as you probably saw, and there's no wear, or very little wear rod and no carbide at all, so that doesn't let it steer. But it's kind of stiff in the steering. So, like you saw, it's been laying out in the woods. So everything moved pretty freely with no weight on it. But once we put weight on it, it's a little bindy when you're trying to steer.
Yeah, we'll have to lube some stuff up.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking the track, well, we certainly weren't on the limiter strap, so that's not the issue. But as far as the track suspension goes, the skid goes, there's one more set of bolt holes above the ones it's in, and we might move it up there just to give it some more ski pressure. Maybe try carbides first.
Yeah.
We know carbides are going to make a world of difference in making it turn.
And we never really checked to see if the whole front suspension works properly. We just been dealing with the motor and the suspension, so the front might be bound up. It came from the woods to the car wash to the table.
Yeah.
So, but it's another savior. I mean, we definitely dragged it out of the woods. You saw it.
Yep, it's another
episode
save.
1.
And we'll have it back again. There'll probably be an episode 3 at some point. We'll have her all tuned up. I still didn't do the can mod, so that right there will affect it. That'll make it run pig rich too.
Yep. Yeah, you're trying to run a 500 through a 340 exhaust.
We've done it before, but you got a jet for it, and we didn't really.
Yeah.
So we'll do the can mod. We'll get after the jetting a little bit.
We did clean the carbs.
We did clean the carbs. I don't know. Not much more to say about that.
No, I'll be putting a little black windshield on the hood, and I'll be getting a nose cone from some friends pretty soon, and
It'll be on the snow whenever we get snow.
yeah,
If we get snow.
or the ice, which is gone. The ducks are swimming around here in
Yeah.
the middle of Minnesota in the middle of the winter.
It's still February, folks.
Yeah.
All right, so with that said, huge thanks to the patrons for their support of the channel. Really appreciate the patrons. They give us a little donation each month, which we buy pizza and beer and parts and even a pizza oven with.
Yeah. Fuel lines, fuel filters, oil filters.
Bearings.
Yeah, bearings.
Tons of bearings.
Yep.
So big thanks to the patrons. You guys are the best. If you don't know, in return for their helping us support the channel with the pizza and the parts, they get to watch all the videos early and ad-free on the Patreon app or webpage. And they get to watch them ad-free, and they get extra patron-only videos that are sometimes they're outtakes. Last couple were some reactions to some sleds we just acquired, which may or may not air. The sled acquisition may or may not air before this. I don't know what order they're coming out, but if you wanted to see how Tommy and Lonnie reacted to these 2 sleds that Dennis and I picked up yesterday, well, you'd have to join the patron. So
Pretty good reactions, by the way.
it is pretty good. So everybody else, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. We thank you for watching, and I guess we'll see you at the swap meets.
Yeah.